My beautiful, smart Geminis. To save some time, I already shuffled the cards and laid them out. I'm using a Celtic 10 card spread that allows me to look at past, present, and future influences for the month. And as always, I'll be teaching the tarot through each card so you not only receive your message, but you start to build your own intuitive relationship with the cards, because that's what this channel is all about, using tarot for our betterment and our benefit. And the benefit for you this week, or this month rather, is you finally moving in a new direction, feeling the confident you, allowing love, enthusiasm, excitement, inspiration, imagination starting to move at the forefront, and you're allowing it to happen. I'm just so proud of you, Gemini, because I know it's been such a tough road for you, especially with regards to people and situations that have really tested your heart, your loyalty, your honesty, your character. But you're coming out on the other side of it, and you're going to start to see vividly the rewards that are coming your way. And we get a real big dose of sunlight and divine order and all that excitement stirring in the creative and a whole new adventure. And you also, most importantly, learning how, again, your twins, how to balance out all that emotional energy and that spiritual energy along with being in the material world. And you're doing a stellar job here as well. So really need to pat yourself on the back, and let's get into September, why it's a really good month for you. And also, most importantly, Gemini, I don't want you to feel like you have to fight anymore or justify or engage about your position, the way that you want to live your life, the way that you want to love, work, the whole kit and caboodle. It's all about you doing things in your own way. And if it's part of learning new things, or even being a teacher yourself, or putting yourself out there in the spiritual way, or learning more about the spiritual arts in your own kind of connection with God, these are all favored this month, okay? And also to start to make happen that real firm foundation wherever your heart wishes and dreams are, whether it's family, relationship, home, career, yourself. It's all up on offer for you as well. For the hard work that you've done in the past, you're starting to get the karmic reward. And let's see why I'm starting to say this, okay? The first card placement is a significator, the general gist of the overall reading. And we start off with the major arcana card, the Hierophant here. It's the priest in the tarot. I take the universal message of God. I bring it down into a material reality. I'm often always seen in some sort of closed room because I don't want to be influenced by outside forces. I only want to have the direction and insight from God and the universe. That's a reflection of the Hierophant. It's traditional religion. So if you're looking to get yourself back into any kind of connection with God, that's always so favorable. And God welcomes that as well. It's also the teacher, the healer, the mentor in the exalted state. So I want you to kind of focus that on yourself for this week. This month rather, and kind of pat yourself on the back, being able to accomplish this guy. But what the weird thing is here, and I just have to validate, don't get caught up in traditional or bad habits of thinking, okay? And let's say you're exploring more like the spiritual arts, like tarot and astrology, and just your own unique connection with God and the universe. That's encouraged as well, kind of under this combo. Because in the second card placement, what's crossing that energy of the Hierophant from fully manifesting in the exalted way is the Three of Swords. And you might have seen this card in many decks with the heart with the three swords pierced through it. And it's a celebratory pause state in tarot numerology, but it doesn't feel like that ever in the Journey of the Swords with any of the celebratory states, because it's such a soft heart fight for our identity to the ancient tarot, who we want to be, how we want to live. Like I said, it's that whole kit and caboodle on the checklist of your life, and it gets that friction, that conflict from other people that are typical or stereotypical ways that you have to be with family and society are also under the domains of the swords, which is our intelligence, our thoughts, our intellect, and giving voice to that intellect, giving voice to that identity, not being afraid to kind of express your way that you want to live your life, and more importantly, just living it, right? But here it says it's a crossing card. It's not allowing to manifest. And just because it's sitting next, I'm going to pop around a little bit, Gemini, because it's sitting next to the fifth card, which is leaving your life. That position is the Six of Swords. Again, another celebratory state, 369 in numerology and tarot. And here it doesn't feel like celebratory either, because you've been fighting so long for your own identity. And again, you've had a lot of friction in that area of people and situations that not only plucked your nerve, it's like took it and then some. It really kind of destroyed destroyed your heart in a lot of ways, but you've manifested a new beginning and a new way of looking at your life and a new perspective. And that gets rewarded here, Gemini, okay? And the 6 is a reflection of putting down that swords, putting down that fight. You no longer have to engage. Silence is its own authority, right? And that silence comes from that inner confidence of knowing who you are out of those trials and tribulations. It tested your character, like your integrity, your ethics, all ego, pride, all that kind of stuff came into it, your heart. But you did the right thing, and that's what's most important here. Even if other people were shady McGady, you did the right thing, and you did it with good intention. That's why we're seeing the Hierophant here. But the crossing card here is saying to me that you're not giving full resonance to your identity. You're kind of like gumbo again, bending over backwards for other people. And maybe you're hesitant to look in new directions, but I'm saying that that's crazy because the whole overall reading is about new directions and God's encouragement to say, hey, let's scoot along here, Gemini. Let's not look backwards. Let's keep on moving forward. Okay, so wherever you want to break that kind of that hold on your identity to be your own person in your relationship to God, your own teacher, your own mentor, or being that for other people. That's a great reflection of service that comes out of the Hierophant, because it's all about new things. Let's say you want to go in learning more about different things on the aspect of religion or being a teacher, or even that, because it's a crossing card, I would just say more of the spiritual arts, breaking free of that tradition. Because in the 7th card placement, the way that we feel about ourselves, I have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight wants to take off in a new direction in the material world. So let's say you've done things always in the traditional way, but your new identity, your new thinking, your new creative energy, your new abilities are coming to the forefront, and you're saying, wow, I can really kick this stuff in a new direction. That's a reflection of this month. Do so. Okay, start to explore those avenues for yourself, Gemini, because that's what magic happens for you. And that's the encouragement of the Knight here. Let's go see what we can make materialize in the real world for our harvest tomorrow. And you've already been planting the seeds when we encountered the Knight, right? And it might be other people. That's a reflection of the royal suits. A lot of people look at it as other people in your life. That might be an example for you to follow in a new direction. So just again, remember at the end of the day, it's your reading. You have those characteristics within yourself. And the Knight wants to encourage you to kind of hop along, say, let's get on this little steady steed. Let's go see how those new seeds that you planted yesterday are starting to sprout for our tomorrow harvest. That's a reflection of the Knight. See those lush lands. That means abundance, productivity, moving forward in that material way. Again, anywhere that it touches for a Gemini, home, relationship, career, your health, the way you are in the outside world, that's kind of your domain, just with that big heart and that big energy. And it wants to be ignited in a new way here. And that's crystal clear. And what's interesting here, we get a big dose of heart, because in the 3rd card placement, kind of the top of the matter in the 10 card spread, but I like to say God's answer on how to navigate the month is the 10 of Cups. And literally we're ending up in the minor arcana suit of the cups in the number 10. So we're wrapping up that journey of the heart, our emotional flow, learning things about our heart, learning things about other people's heart has also been on the agenda, and not in a pretty way as well. But that's all meant to you to not to block or dam up your emotional flow, so that the love keeps flowing out to the people that mean most to you, not the emotional vampires that you had to encounter in the past that you had to learn to move forward from, right? That's the journey of the cups. And in the 10 of Cups, we get that happily ever after, that kind of peace and joy that comes from having walked the walk and talked the talk from the journey of the heart, right? All our cups are there in a row. But what's a reflection of the 10 of Cups is the way that you really feel about yourself. And that comes out of that identity breaking here to be you emerging, like that shell, right? I have to get away from the seed shell so I can get to the little sprout has to emerge. That's you. And the 10 of Cups is a reflection of the respect that you hold for yourself and your heart and your spirit and your energy in that area, right? And that's what the 10 says. It's like that's the only thing that you're going to allow in your inner circle moving forward in the new journey of the heart. And it's just a beautiful reflection of the Gemini. I know some of you have been really struggling with that domain of the heart, but that's where that emotional energy you had to learn, right? And that now gets rewarded because you're more solid, you're more confident in who you are out of that trying and testing time from you. And believe me, I know it brought you to your knees, some of you, but you did it. And now you're standing, and you should be so proud of yourself. And God in the universe is giving you like a big dose of your energy in the Page of Wands, that imagination inspiration starts to take off in that fourth place position. So it's the base of the matter in the 10 card spread, but it's, to me, it's a gut feeling. So I've got in God's position, I got that 10 of cups. Let's aim for the stars here, guys, of the heart. Whatever makes you happy in relationship, home, career, yourself, all that's covered here in the domain for you. And the page says, let's give some enthusiasm and excitement, which I guarantee has been lacking for a while and is starting to emerge. So let's give this flame a little bit of oxygen, and that's your spirit and confidence to know that you can make anything happen. That's the page. He gives you that dose of energy, just like the knight. Let's go in a new direction. He's flying over the rocky hills, which is so nice because it's another reflection of the tough stuff that you've been through. And now you know how to get to A, B, C a lot easier. It still have to take the right way, but you know how to conquer those little hills and those mountains, right? And the new day is dawning, and it's dawning around you. And when a Gemini gets an idea and they want to fly with it, wow, magic happens. And we get to that plateau, that authority, that firm foundation to build upon, that youthful energy of the page, the opportunity and the potential that comes out of that journey of the swords. It's never easy, but that's what shapes your wherewithal. That's what shapes your character. And that shapes, more importantly, who you are and who you want to be in your life. And that's, again, it's never an easy lesson for anybody, but it was especially tough for you guys, Gemini. But now you're emerging out of it. And here's another reflection of coming out of that tough energy into a new light. In the 6th card position is the way that what's happening right now. And here we get the Ace of Wands, that energy of inspiration, imagination, ready to take off in that creative of the wands, right? I have the plateaus of the mountain in the background. I've overcome huge challenges in taking a creative idea in the past, again, family, home, relationship, to your own work, to yourself, and you've come over those trials and tribulations. You've conquered those mountaintops. You've come to a new perspective. You see a new viewpoint. Now you're on solid ground. You're ready to plant that wand of imagination. God in the universe gives you that big dose of enthusiasm and self-confidence and self-esteem and self-love, so you can take this kind of creative energy in a new direction. You've got the world in your hand. You've got that golden fleece of accomplishments. It's the Emperor in my deck, so that's the boss, that leader. The mentor, the teacher, another reflection of the major arcana card of the Hierophant, but in business and those kinds of endeavors. So just trust yourself anywhere where you want to stride forth, where you want to take an idea and make it a material reality, especially. That would be favored under this reading for this month. And again, like I said, in the 7th card, the way you're feeling about yourself, you're ready for new directions. Even if it's not the whole pie of what a new direction is. Let's say, oh, this little slice I want to kind of experiment over here for my career or an entrepreneurship or for love, right? Or I want to bring a new kind of joy or perspective to family and relationship. This is all on order for you. Whatever you want to do, Gemini, you can do it. That you've learned already. And that's why these new cards of emergence and new planting of seeds of the potential for you and opportunity, that's a reflection of the Knight here as well, the Page, and even how other people look at you is a new reflection. So in the 8th card position, how other people look at you is the Ace of Swords. Again, no coincidence sitting next to the 6 and flows right into the 3 here. The Ace, again, just like the Ace of Wands, is that upsurge of energy in the potential and opportunity now in the area of our thoughts, our intellect, our identity that gets to be applied in the real world. Another reflection here too, guys, of the mountaintops that you have conquered, and now you're standing on firm footing. You know yourself. You know who you are. You've got that double-edged sword because you've learned some stuff. You could cut away the BS that doesn't serve you, or people trying to undermine you or take away your authority. So let's not that happen here, because that's a reflection of these 2 cards. So just know, again, anywhere that you need to break this stranglehold, if you're not honoring yourself, okay, again, with regards to tradition, religion, mentorship. Let's say someone wants to say, oh, I know better than you, just, again, you have to go back to what you are. Or maybe you felt like you broke traditions in the past, or you want to go back to traditions because you felt like your identity, whatever the case may be, you just need to have a real reflection on that, because it's touching you in a way that's kind of holding you back, okay? But other people look at you as moving forward. That's that double-edged sword. I'll cut away that BS. But what's a nice reflection here in the Ace is I've learned the balance of compassion and gratitude and understanding and insight. I could balance intellect with my spirit. I could cut away the BS with that double-edged sword, but I could deliver a hard truth with a soft tongue. That's how we get to the ace and those higher exalted states in our intellect out of these journeys of the tough trials and that conflict of pushing you to understand yourself. I know it's never easy, Gemini, but you did it again. I just have to say congratulations. And here's another reflection of that. In the ninth card position is our hopes and fears. I just have to say one more thing. Just because other people have been plucking your nerves for so long, hold your head up high, walk stoically, walk confidently, allow your intellect and your identity to show. That's the real power weapon here, okay? That's what this is all about here, just believing in you. And the ninth, as a reflection in that hopes and fears, is Temperance. It's a major arcana card. So life lessons that's happening in the present. It's the flow of energy again, the flow of emotion, psychic ability, subconscious, our connection to God and the universe, and allowing that emotional energy to flow in us, not letting it to dam up. We're being unconditional and loving when we see the Temperance, right? The thing about Temperance to me, though, is we could have the scales and be balanced out, and that's paramount again for the twins, because there's two of you. You're kind of like your own mini version of scales, and you need to make sure that both are on solid footing and equal, right? Again, we come back to that reflection of the Ten of Cups, that respect and that insight that you're holding for yourself, and that inner confidence, right, in your own heart and your intellect. And the Temperance wants you to allow now the emotional flow to go out to the right people and situations. I'll also say this, because you are the balance, you're the keystone in that scale. So if you're off balance, or if you're not taking self-care or talking to yourself in a loving way, your scales are going to get tilted, and then it's going to affect everything else. And I'll also say this with Temperance, it could be other people and situations that we feel like we might have to have emotional flow to keep the flow going. Okay, that's all groovy, and that's fine. That's a reflection of Temperance. But again, make sure it's for your betterment and not going into a area that's not suited for you, right? And just know that you have that power to build up. That's the whole point of the Temperance. If you want emotional connection again in a positive light, that's the domain of Temperance. She gives that. So don't be afraid to open up your heart. Don't be afraid to let that heart spill out and flow again, okay? That's a reflection of the Temperance. So let's not be afraid of it. You be your own little rainbow here, Gemini, okay? And that's where you kind of sit and you make magic. And I'm going to stick with that kind of message, because in the 10th card, outcome card, we have the beautiful major arcana card, the Sun. So the Sun is not only shining on you like a spotlight. So if your ideas or you want to pitch them out there, or you present yourself out there in a society way, whatever you're doing, the Sun gives a little extra divine order, because everything gravitates to the Sun, right? In the exalted state. And we've learned out of kind of these swords, we're not going to be burning or overwhelming to other people, or ways that could be cutting and, that kind of scorch earth, kind of in the non-exalted state of the Sun. And I just don't think that's a problem with Gemini, because you guys have gone through so much stuff. If your snappy tongue and your snappy attitude was going to come out, it would have come out a long time ago. And this is a karma card to me in a way, because the Sun appears in the ancient tarot after a really dark time of emotional and spiritual enlightenment lessons to get to emotional and spiritual maturity. And you've done this. That's why the Sun is appearing. It's shining on you. Again, everything gravitates to the Sun, including yourself. It's our life force. And, also too, like that ancient tarot was opening up your heart, your head, to allow some fresh air, like a laser beam of that sunlight to get away and dispel the darkness of that shadowland that you've been in for so long. It kind of zaps out like a laser beam all those insecurities, fears, and doubts and anxieties that have been built up like spider webs and dust in that attic of your head and your heart, and now that gets all swept out. And the Sun comes in and said, let's play. We've got the columns of justice and fairness in the background. We've got that lush landscape that's all reflection of abundancy, and the light being on you to make anything that you want to materialize in the real world. You get divine order here, and I'm really sticking with it, because I just noticed in the bonus card, the Fool, the major arcana Fool. He's not just any major arcana, because he starts the major arcana guides. That new day dawning around you again. It's another reflection of that new opportunity, potential that's coming out of that mountainy landscape that you've got yourself on solid ground. Here's that cave. That's a reflection in tarot of that time of darkness, shadow work, getting to know yourself in the deepest, like the heaviest and most intense ways. because that's how we get to that enlightenment, right? That's how we get to our identity. It's not going to be the butterflies and unicorns, guys. And you're no fool at all. The fool is about a naivety. Like when you were younger, Geminis, you ran at it. If there was an idea or an adventure to be had, off you went. Boom, 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 boom. Nobody could tell you no. You just thought you were going to have fun and you knew better. That same kind of enthusiasm, excitement that's stirring throughout your whole reading and literally sitting under the ace, saying, let's go stir this. Let's go play, Gemini. That's a reflection of the fool. And you'll often see him in animal skins because that's the way that we have to look at ourselves. Like we're not going to take anything forward materially wise, commercialism, all that kind of heavy duty stuff in the material world, including emotional drama or baggage that we don't need anymore and no longer serves us. And we leave that behind. We leave that in the cave for God and the universe to deal with. We stride forth with nothing. We're just, that's that animal skins. I'm like primal. I'm just going to give that kind of, feeling in me, that's stirring in me some credence and respect. And you know now you could blend it with the heart and the spirit, with the intellect, and you can make anything, absolutely anything, materialize in this new world, okay, for you, all right? And that's a reflection of the fool. It's just a great way to end the reading, and I just can't say go kick it enough, okay, Gemini? Believe in yourself. Don't let anyone hold you down, whatever's going on here. Don't let anyone hold back your identity because you work so hard for it, and you're so darn well deserve it. So thank you for everyone who watches. I just can't say thank you enough. And for those of you that subscribe, thank you as well. And if you haven't subscribed, if you would consider doing so, we're trying to reach the word of tarot out to everybody. So thank you again, Geminis.